1-2. Good morning, all. We are ready to start the day's proceedings. It's 29 minutes past 9. Please make sure that your cell phones are off or on silent. And members of the public gallery, please switch off your devices. Thank you.
Let me ask lead counsel to place them. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, Commissioner Baloyi, Commissioner Kumalo. My name is Ndwamato Eric Ngwedo. Ngwedo, N-W-E-D-O. So you need to roll your tongue a little bit, Chairperson. That's vendor. So I'm counsel for Dr. Livia, who appears before the commission this morning. I'm not alone, Chairperson. I'm with my instructing attorney on my left. I will also just give you an opportunity to introduce herself. Okay, it's Ms. Zintle Due from Lucky Tekiso Attorneys. They are the instructing attorneys in this particular matter. I thank you, Chairperson.
Good morning, Chair.
Oh, good. Good morning, Ms. Seagulls.
Good morning, Chair.
Thank you. You were referred to just now as General, so a doctor. So I don't know whether to call you doctor or general. What's your preference?
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, Commissioners. I prefer doctor because it's a recent one.
Oh, good morning, doctor.
Chair, I would have said advocate because as far as I'm aware, Dr. General Livia is an advocate.
Yes, I do know that.
I am an advocate.
Yes.
I am a Lieutenant General, retired. But the doctor one is the latest in terms of the seniority.
Hence the preference. Thank you very much, doctor. Thank you. Ms. Seagulls Ncube.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the General will be sworn in.
Doctor, will you be swearing or affirming?
Swearing.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
I swear that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ngwedo. Very early, no, in fact, very late last night, I sent a text to Ms. Seagulls Ncube and I asked her to engage you on how best to deal with the doctor's statements. I think they are the longest we've ever had, totaling 170 pages. We would take forever if we were to go through all 170 pages. Ms. Seagulls Ncube, I hope you were able to reach agreement on a practical way in which the statements should be dealt with.
We have, Chair. I did discuss it at length with my learned friend and with, now I'll have to remember to say doctor instead of general, with the doctor, and we have come up with what we think is a practical approach. What is unavoidable, I think, is that we'll probably spend the whole day on just leading the doctor's evidence on both statements. And we will have to arrange a further date for the cross-examination. But we have come to an arrangement that will significantly reduce the need to read from the statement. And we think at this point, we're probably about, I would say we've reduced it by about 60% on the first statement. The second one, we'll try and come to an arrangement during tea.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much to both of you for that. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Sigels-Ncube.
Yes, Chair. If I could then just orientate everyone on what is before the commissioners, and then how we propose to deal with the first statement. So, Chair, there are the first file is file 1 that has the doctor's main statement, which is 1 to page 124.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Chairperson. I thought my learned colleague would remember what we have discussed.
Yes.
There are certain aspects that we need to place on record.
Oh, yes.
Prior to proceeding. I'm happy to do that maybe after, maybe she may have
Yes,
done.
Chair.
But I just wanted to highlight that there are certain aspects that we want to place on record from Dr. Livia's side.
Okay.
Chair, we will get to that once I've dealt with the housekeeping, just so that we know what files we're dealing with. We've got and it's before the doctor deals with his evidence. File 1 is his statement, the main statement, page 1 to 124, which is dated 25 November 2025. Then there are 2 files of annexures that go with that statement. It's file 2 and 3. And then there's file 4, which is the supplementary statement, and that is dated 4 August 2026, and that also has 2 files with annexures, so that would be files 5 and 6. Then, Chair, we've created a core bundle, which are just extractions from exhibits of other streams where Dr. Libia's name has featured, which we thought would be relevant for purposes of his evidence. We won't get to that today because it deals with cross-examination matters, but just to place that on record. And then there was a annexure, which is National Instruction 2 of 2001, which General Libia had referenced regarding informers and how informers are to be dealt with within SAPS, which we've also included in that bundle. And Chair, we can now deal with the issues before we go to the doctor's statement. It relates to a matter which my learned friend accepts the commissioners have no say in, but it is an issue which I understand the doctor to be very passionate about regarding legal representation for purposes of his appearance at the commission. Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Ngwedo.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm indebted to my learned colleague for remembering that one. Chairperson, Commissioners, the issue that Dr. Libia is quite keen to place on record, and I need to be very clear, Chairperson, that this is not a preliminary issue. It is just an issue that he wants to place on record regarding his legal representation. Firstly, Dr. Libia is here before this commission at his own costs, including, the costs of his legal representation. On 12 November 2025, Dr. Libia made a formal application within the SAPS for legal representation. However, that was denied or declined. And this happened through a formal notification dated 6th January 2026. What is evident with the communication that has come through Chairperson and Commissioners is basically that the decision maker in that particular application happens to be one General Musikidi, who, and again, I need to be very careful about it, Chairperson, these are issues that he's going to traverse during his evidence. So it's not something that is being submitted from the bar. So they are in his documents, they are in his main statement. And therefore, this person had actually used to work under him when he was still the head of the DPCI, or the Hawks as we know it. And is one person that he had tasked to investigate the issues relating to one of the streams that my learned colleague is going to traverse, the Port Shepstone matter. And there was a report that came out of that, and there were certain recommendations, and Dr. Livia had clearly annotated in that particular report that he needed to discuss a certain paragraph 6 that arise from that particular report. That never happened. It turns out when he made this application, the very same person is the one that becomes the decision maker, who then declines General Livia's or Dr. Livia's legal representation. Chairperson, what we submit, as I indicated, we are not casting this as a preliminary issues, but we submit that General Musigidi ought to have recused herself from adjudicating that particular matter because of the conflict that is apparent in that particular matter, and also the mere fact that the issue relating to the Port Shepstone drug bust is central as well in this particular commission. That didn't happen as we know it now, and it's on the record, and we submit that the reasons that have been provided by the SAPS for declining that particular application are really frivolous, to say the least, because one of the issues, and I will paraphrase Chairperson because I don't want really to belabor this point that much. One of the issues they raise in the letter is that they, amongst others, they do not, they are not actually inclined to provide legal representation because his version differs with the version of other SAPS witnesses. That is problematic, Chairperson, because, I mean, if one actually reads that, are they implying that there should have been alignment of versions from Dr. Livia with the other SAPS witnesses that are appearing before this commission? That is problematic. Dr. Livia is here before the commission, and he has willingly, and he has cooperated with the commission since October last year, up until today, with all the postponements that has occasioned, which we don't blame it on the commission. He has remained patient to come here and assist this commission in reaching its objectives, but above all else as well, to clear his name in the manner in which he has been, aspersions has been casted on him. So, Chairperson, what we really submit in this regard is that this needs to be taken in light of what has happened, lately. And we have been instructed that on or about February this year, Dr. Livia was subpoenaed to appear before the Hampepe Commission, the one that is dealing with the TRC cases. He made similar application based on the same National Instruction 1 of 2017, which is the guiding document within the South African Police Services. He made similar application. That application was granted. And that was after the one that he submitted for this commission had been declined.
May I find this out? Do you propose asking of us to do anything, or I just want to get an idea why we should be apprised of all this? I'm not being unsympathetic at all, but I just want to get an idea.
Chairperson, what we ask of the commission, Dr. Livia is here to assist the commission. And we, at the very least, if the commission finds it appropriate, we submit at least this matter needs to be flagged with the SAPS for a possible reconsideration. because
Wasn't the proper course for Dr. Libya to follow, to review the SAP's decision not to fund him? Is that not what he should have done in January already?
Chairperson, that may very well be so. We do not deny that. It may very well still be a course of action that he may consider. However, we hold instructions to place these things on record because that actually has potential of inhibiting him in assisting the Commission the best way he can.
You said the verb you used was that this is for the Commission to flag. What does flagging entail exactly? What's its practical effect?
Chairperson, what we submit is that the flagging may very well be that Dr. Libya is here. He has always, as far back as February when he was first subpoenaed, he has always been keen to come and assist. This is a commission of inquiry that is actually aimed at getting to the bottom of the issues of criminality and the interference in the criminal justice system. And therefore, we submit, Chairperson, that it is prudent, even though the Commission may just note and not...
Can you please just zoom in on what you mean by flagging in practical terms? What does that entail?
Chairperson, if that may just mean a letter or so, regarding the issues that have been raised, that would be fine by Dr. Libya. We understand, and that is why I put a big caveat when I started to say it's not a preliminary issue. We understand that it's not your decision. But if the Commission finds it that there is nothing, even in the by way of just a mere letter, then we will rest it at that. The General is here. He wants to assist the Commission.
I'm not sure. We normally use, we as lawyers normally use standing in the context of litigation, but I will use it loosely here. I will say I'm not sure at all that the Commission would have standing to come and to assist the General in this regard and to write to send a letter, as you suggest, to SAPS about this matter. I'm not sure what standing we would have in that regard. I'm thinking off the cuff here, of course, and again I repeat, I'm not being unsympathetic to the doctor's plight. I don't want to give legal advice, and in fact I ought not to do so. But I think the best course, I repeat, for the doctor is to review the decision of SAPS, and it doesn't matter that, of course, there are, if it's a budget process, there are time limits. Of course, if you are out of time, you can apply for an extension of that period. Those things. Of course, if it will be a budget-based review, I don't know what review you might have in mind, and the fact that by the time that review is finalized, General Libya will have testified and finalized. It doesn't matter, because if he succeeds and it's held finally that he ought to have been funded, he can be funded at that late stage, and that will still be to his advantage. I should not be doing this, but I guess I just want us to move on and to make the point that I do not think we can come to the doctor's assistance. Just a minute. Yeah, there may also be, as Commissioner Kumalo whispers to me some internal processes that may first have to be exhausted before litigation.
We accept that, Chairperson. As I indicated when I started, we
Yes,
wanted
yes.
to, we wanted to place these things on
Yeah,
record.
no, I hear you.
It is an issue that Dr. Livia felt very strong that it
Yes,
needs to be
yes.
canvassed. We understand the limitations on your end, and we'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much.
Perhaps while I'm still on my feet, if I may just conclude by just highlighting just one aspect that will come, and we've discussed it with my learned colleague before we came in here. There is a certain portion in the main statement where clearly Dr. Olivier has indicated that the annexures related to those particular paragraphs is Annexure 9, 19, 35, and 44 that are top secret and classified documents. Dr. Livia basically will seek guidance from the chairperson on how to deal with those top secret classified documents when we get to them. He has them in his possession, and will take guidance from the chairperson and the commissioners on how best those issues can be dealt with.
I prefer that we should hear from the two of you how they should be handled, and we'll then decide based on that. So
Indeed, so,
please engage each other on that, and
We'll do that during.
and come with a proposal. Thank you. Let's start, please.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chairperson.
Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Libya, can you go to file 1, which has your main statement? And it goes up to page 124. If you could just confirm that that is your signature on page 124.
I have the file, Commissioners.
Do you confirm that that is your signature on page 124?
The signature is mine, Commissioners.
Do you confirm the correctness and truthfulness of your statement?
The content are correct and truthful, and then we shall just indicate when we go on typing errors. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Commissioners, you will note that there are topics, many of them of a legal nature, where the General, if you'll forgive me if I do refer to you as General every now and then, my apologies, Doctor, where he deals with matters of legislation and regulations, regulatory requirements, and what we have agreed there is that because this affidavit will form part of the record which the commissioners will take into account.
Is it an affidavit, though?
A statement, Chair. I don't see a commissioner of oath.
Sorry about that. Please continue, and
Thank
sorry
you.
for the apologies for the interruption.
No problem, Chair. Chair, I was just indicating that there are matters which Dr. Labia deals with, which are of a legal nature, where he sets out the laws that govern SAP's operations. We have agreed that because this statement will form part of the record of the Commission, and that the Commissioners will take it into account when preparing the report, that he won't deal with that in his oral testimony, but that it will be noted, and I I will have the task of noting that he has mentioned it, highlight the relevant sections only, place it on record, the sections that he addresses, and then we will leave that, which effectively cuts off about 20 to 30 pages of the first statement. We have reached that agreement. And then insofar as the General's background and his service history is concerned, he does traverse matters which predate his appointment as the head of DPCI. He has indicated that there are certain aspects that he does want to highlight. We have also identified certain paragraphs there which he will read into the record, but the remainder will not be. So you'll just have to bear with us, Chair, as we go through it. Doctor, if we can then start with your statement. Page 1 has the table of contents, and 1 and 2, and we'll start with page 3, which is the introduction. And you basically just set out who you are, and that you are you were a member of SAPS, held the rank of Lieutenant General. You're retired now, and you retired in May of 2025. May I ask you then to also then just at paragraph 1, if you can start with paragraph 1, read that into the record.
And perhaps start with your full names there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Seswancho Godfrey Livia. I am an adult male. I was a member of the South African Police Service, SAPS, holding the rank of Lieutenant General, appointed as National Head, and the former National Head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, until I retired in May 2025. In this statement, I will also refer to the DPCI by its popular name, the Hawks, at other times. I'm currently a practicing law as an advocate of the High Court of South Africa, and I am a member of the Johannesburg Society of Advocates.
Dr. Libya, where you say you held the rank of Lieutenant General, in brackets you say appointed as National Head, are you referring to the Hawks or to the SAPS as National Head?
National Head is in the Hawks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then paragraph 2 we can skip because you have placed that on record, that you confirm the correctness of the statement. And then paragraph 3.
As I said, I was member of the South African Police Service holding the rank of Lieutenant General, appointed as National Head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, in terms of non-renewable contract for a period of 7 years from the 1st of June 2018 until the 31st of May 2025. I retained the rank of Lieutenant General, appointed as National Head in bracket R, to avoid confusion with the serving members. In this statement, I will give credit where it is due and will indicate where there are some shortcomings, abnormalities, inaccuracies, or wrongdoing.
Thank you. At 4 and 5, you set out what the topics that your statement will address, that you've been asked by the Commission to address. So we won't go through that because as we go through your statement, you will deal with those topics. Then if we can go to page 6, paragraph 6.
The gist of the issues that relate to me emanate from the opinions of witnesses A and B. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who voiced the concerns on their behalf on the 6th of July 2025, have left it to them to present the evidence, as he did not repeat same in his testimony. The allegations is that I was called by Katiso Molefe to send the Hawks to disrupt a legitimate police operation. Based on the opinion of witnesses A and B, Lieutenant General Khumalo draws an inference that the Hawks were at the scene to interfere with the operation.
May continue, 7.
It is my submission that the presence of multiple law enforcement agencies at the scene in Sandton on the 6th of December 2024 is indicative of a significant failure in the planning and the coordination of the operation. This situation reflects poorly on the effectiveness of the preparatory processes, as it suggests a lack of unified command and insufficient communication among the involved parties. Responsibility for such a lapse belongs to the overall leader of the operation. It is the duty of the operational leader to ensure that all the affected state agencies are adequately briefed and that their roles are clearly defined to avoid overlap, confusion, or unintended consequences. The inability to synchronize the actions of the various law enforcement units undermined the integrity of the operation and exposed serious shortcomings on leadership and operational oversight.
Can I just ask you there, General, you refer to all the affected state agencies, but you don't say who those agencies are.
The affected state agencies in this regard will be the Hawks as a part of a state agency, and the greater SAPS, such as the Organized Crime Unit, the station involved the SAPS at Sandton. So those are the other state agencies that I'm referring to.
Okay, thank you. And then at paragraph 8.
The questions to be asked are, was this concentration of law enforcement agencies at the scene in Sandton preventable? What should have been done to prevent such occurrence? Who should have ensured that that did not happen? When it was happening and the leader was kept abreast with the developments, what did he do to defuse the situation? Was the custodian of the information of this operation not the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence, who is the custodian of information and intelligence in the SAPS? Is the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence not the service provider of all operational environments in the SAPS? Are all operational environments, including the DPCI, not his clients?
Can I just ask you, are these rhetorical questions or do you address them in your evidence? Do you answer them or are you asking us to answer these questions?
I'm asking witnesses A and B and whoever is suggesting that I have sent the members of the SAPS to the Hawks to go and interfere with the legitimate operation.
Thank you. Paragraph 9.
A confrontational atmosphere was established where various units had to respond effectively to the events purported to be taking place in Sandton on the 6th of December 2024. That atmosphere might have led to unintended outcomes, including the possibility of friendly fire. Applying the conditio sine qua non theory, which refers to a condition without which nothing, or simply but for, one may reasonably conclude that if Lieutenant General Khumalo had informed me, as the national head of the DPCI then, about the operation, or if upon receiving a report about the presence of the members of the Hawks at the scene, he had checked with me, the situation would not have occurred. It is unfortunate that he cited the issue of trust.
10.
It is vital from the outset, it is vital to mention from the outset that the correct position which will be demonstrated is as follows. I do not know Mr. Katiso Molefe. I was not contacted by Mr. Katiso Molefe. I was contacted by Malcolm X. I directed 2 senior managers to verify the allegations of persons who were said to be claiming to be members of the DPCI and to have been sent by me. I have never instructed the members of the DPCI to interrupt a legitimate police operation.
Thank you. Then the next topic is some critical laws governing policing in South Africa. The first you mentioned is the South African Police Service Act, and as I've indicated, we're not going to read this entire section into the record. I do want you to, however, read 11 and 12, and also to place on record that the provisions in the SAPS Act that you highlight is 16, 17, and 28. But if you could just read 11 and 12, and then we'll continue from there.
The Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, is an entity that was established by the insertion of Chapter 6, capital letter A, in the South African Police Service Act 68 of 1995, which is a Police Service Act. That chapter came into existence following the amendment of the Police Service Act through the South African Police Service Amendment Act 57 of 2008. It came into operation on 29th of February 2009. The Directorate was formed as a division in the SAPS headed by the head, who was a Deputy National Commissioner. In the provinces, the Directorate was headed by provincial heads who were also Deputy Provincial Commissioners. Major General Arnold Dramat, who was the Deputy Provincial Commissioner in the Western Cape, was appointed as the head of the DPCI with the rank of Deputy National Commissioner. It is written on 6 July 2009. I just want to indicate that the effective date of appointment is the 1st of June 2009. On the 6th of July 2009 is the date on which he took the post in Pretoria.
Thank you. Paragraph 12.
The independence of the DPCI was questioned and the law was changed in terms of the South African Police Service Amendment Act 10 of 2012. The consequences of this amendment is that Section 16, subsection 4, paragraph B, was incorporated into the Police Service Act that came into operation on the 14th of September 2012. Furthermore, the person to oversee the DPCI was to be the national head, who is accountable to the Minister of Police. The provincial heads were no longer the Deputy Provincial Commissioners, and their reporting line is to the national head. The national head determines the fixed establishment of the DPCI.
Thank you. Then you deal with a case, the Glenister case, and you highlight sections 16 and 17 in the following pages. If we can then go to page 13. So we're skipping 10, 11, 12. And if we go to 511, paragraph 1511, on page 13, where you deal with section 17E. This is an important section because it deals with security clearance and the cooperation between DPCI and crime intelligence regarding security clearance and vetting.
Section 17E, subsection 2, paragraph A, provide that no person may be appointed to the directorate unless a security clearance has been issued to that person in terms of section 2A 6 of the National Strategic Intelligence Act of 1994, Act number 39 of 1994, by the head of Crime Intelligence Division of the service. Any intelligence structure referred to in that act as may from time to time be determined by the minister.
And then if you could read 15.14.
It is worth mentioning that in respect of the assistance from crime intelligence as provided for in section 17F, subsection 6, which provides for support of the directorate by crime intelligence. The directorate has asked crime intelligence to dedicate capacity to provide grabber services for the kidnapping cases and cash-in-transit CIT robberies related cases. This was not successful.
Sorry, Doctor, can you tell us what period this was? When was this? You don't say.
Since I took office in the DPCI, that is from 2018.
Thank you.
Crime Intelligence Division drew a document excluding the directorate from acquiring the grabber, a tool necessary to assist in cracking cases. Instead, the division will expect the directorate to produce the docket to be inspected by a Major General Pilani Lushaba of Crime Intelligence to determine as to whether it is necessary to deploy a grabber. In one instance, an attempt to catch an imposter failed because of the DPCI could not produce a docket to crime intelligence. That would have dampened the operational independence of the DPCI. As for vetting, the DPCI has since 2018 been requesting the capacitation of vetting in crime intelligence as Section 17E of the Act requires 100% vetted officials in the Hawks, and the crime intelligence is only capable of vetting 15%. In some instances, it takes over 6 months to complete vetting on someone who is recommended for vetting before appointment in a senior management service post in the Hawks.
Thank you. And then 15.15.
Section 17F, subsection 4, which provides that the National Director of Public Prosecutions must ensure that a dedicated component of prosecutors is available to assist and cooperate with members of the Directorate in conducting its investigation, as well as secondment of persons with specialized skills as and when required.
Thank you. You then deal with the Public Service Act regulations regarding the Public Service Act for the remainder of that section. So if we could skip all of that and go to page 23, which is background of my policing and service history. And if I could ask you in that regard, if we can start on paragraph 26 on page 24.
I have overseen detectives in Gauteng province from the year 2000 to 2004. I was the head of organized crime nationally from 2004 to 2010. After obtaining my Bachelor of Law degree, LLB, in 2005, I was admitted as an advocate of the High Court of South Africa in 2006. As the head of organized crime, I studied organized crime in the Southern African Development Community SADC region, focusing on motor vehicle crime, which I obtained Masters of Law degree, LMM, in 2007. I continued to study and obtained Doctor of Laws degree, LLD, in 2012. When I was a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, the position that I held since the 1st of February 2011.
And which institutions did you obtain your qualifications?
The national diploma I obtained from Technikon South Africa, Technikon RSA at the time. The Bachelor of Laws up to doctorate, I got them from UNISA.
Thank you. And then paragraph 27.
I have been involved in investigating corruption cases since I was a constable at the time when corruption was still a common law crime of bribery. I have been on the forefront of fighting corruption in the country and I have never compromised my character. I have been issued with top secret security clearance certificates from the year 2000, and the last one is valid until the 30th of June 2029. I became the first casualty of addressing the criminality at Crime Intelligence Division for doing my work, and the division was never rehabilitated.
You say you became the first casualty of addressing the criminality at Crime Intelligence. When was this?
My investigation of activities in crime intelligence started in the year 2009. And I continued. I see that other witnesses have provided evidence, which is part of what I investigated. So I became a casualty when I was transferred out of the Hawks. My position shut down and appointed in the greater service. And in the greater service, I was dismissed from the police, probably because of the work that I was doing. I was rescued by the courts.
Okay,
Dr.
yes.
Libya, just so that we are clear, are you referring to the abuse of the secret funds when you say other witnesses have testified to the same issue?
I have noted that some of the witnesses, like Colonel Rulus, shall have investigated the activities in crime intelligence. So I touched on the Secret Service account. I also touched on the appointments of members in crime intelligence, the so-called 250 appointees.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And when you say you were excused, or I've forgotten the verb you used, you said you were excused by the courts. Did you mean you were reinstated?
Yes, yes, I was reinstated by the courts.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Then if we can go to page 31, paragraph 37. I think it starts on page 30.
Since joining the police, I was promoted and appointed in various ranks based on qualifications and experience. I was promoted and appointed to the rank of sergeant in 1988 and placed in the slow lane. Warrant officer 1990 and kept in the slow lane. Lieutenant in 1991 and kept in the slow lane. Captain 1993 and kept in the slow lane. Moved to the middle lane. Superintendent 1996, kept in the middle lane. Senior Superintendent 1997, kept in the middle lane. Director in 2000, moved to the first lane. Assistant Commissioner in 2000. Returned to the slow lane. Divisional Commissioner 2010. Lieutenant General appointed as Divisional Commissioner in 2010. Moved to the middle lane. Lieutenant General appointed as Deputy National Commissioner 2011, moved to the slow lane and cul-de-sac, and Lieutenant General appointed as National Head, DPCI 2018.
You're going to have to explain all those lanes to us, please.
This is the imaginary lanes that are not spoken to, but you will see as the promotion progresses that yours is slow and your colleagues are going faster. As an example, when we were to be promoted to become sergeants in 1988, when you pass your examination in the first semester, like I passed my examination in June, I expect to be promoted from the 1st of July of that year. And those who pass their examination in December get promoted on the 1st of January. I pass my examination in July. I wait, I'm not being promoted. Those who come to write their examination in December get promoted before me, and then I get promoted after them. You are in the slow lane. When I pass my examination to become a warrant officer, I'm told, no, you haven't finished 2 years as a sergeant. You must first finish 2 years. So that period that you were put in the slow lane on is now counted that you haven't finished. But I have finished the qualification that are required. So I had to come and challenge this at later years, I think 1993, and as a grievance. They come and reverse all of those starting from sergeant, then you are put back in the correct lane. So those are the things that I'm talking about. Thank you, Commissioners.
What is the middle lane and the cul-de-sac?
The middle lane is when you are promoted normally. The promotions in the past, it was that if you finish 2 years as a sergeant, you can be promoted to become a warrant officer. So normally, when you finish 2 years and then there is nothing wrong, you have completed your qualification that are required, you are promoted. You finish 1 year as a warrant officer, you can be promoted to become a lieutenant and the like. So those are normal. The only reason that you will be excluded is if there is something wrong with maybe departmental hearing against you and the like, then you will be put in a slow lane. You will not be promoted like others. So that is the middle lane. The cul-de-sac that I'm talking about is that you have reached the end. So there is no move forward.
So yours was the appointment as the national head of DPCI?
At the time of cul-de-sac was when I became the Deputy National Commissioner. And then we are supposed to be, if the National Development Plan was being implemented, we could be given an opportunity to compete fairly. But because that process is not implemented, you reach cul-de-sac, and that is where they even think of moving you from where you are as the Deputy National Commissioner to something down, which is demotion.
Thank you.
Are you saying that there is no competitive, for Deputy National Commissioners, there's no competitive process for them to be considered for National Commissioner? Is that what you're speaking to when you say cul-de-sac and in the way you describe it?
The Commissioner is correct to say that there is no competitive process. The National Development Plan of 2030 is supposed to have corrected that anomaly. And what we are even seeing today, the appointment of individuals without competing with others, is because of the absence of that. And I think that we have made some recommendation as to how that particular situation should be corrected. So currently there is no proper competitive process. And I think that with the last appointment of the National Commissioner, they tried to do something where they shortlisted individuals, but you did not open for people to apply. You have just identified individual and say that you are shortlisted. You don't know what informed that. So there is supposed to be a process where people can be able to compete properly. Thanks, Commissioners.
Dr. Olivia, can I get a yes answer, not elaboration? I just need to be clear here. Are you saying once you are DNC, Deputy National Commissioner, when you are then appointed National Head, DPCI, that's not a sideways movement, that's a demotion? Or is a DNC at the same level as head of the Hawks? I just wanted to be clear.
DNC and national head are on the same level. That is not the movement that I have taken, Commissioners.
All right. So you're not suggesting that it was a demotion to move from DNC to head of the Hawks? Because they're on the same level, it was a sideways movement?
I'm not sure because the Commissioner is asking a yes and no, and it needed to be clarified, or how did it happen? Because I exited the organization. I did not move from DNC to National
okay,
Head.
I get you. So you exited and then had to come back?
Yes,
And
this
then
one
you
is
were
a
given the
totally separate
Yeah.
appointment,
Yeah.
contract appointment. So I was on retirement.
I'm with you.
I remained retired, and then I had to be appointed on a contract basis, which is separate.
No, you've clarified, Unless Chair wants you to deal with the other movement, I'm sorted. Thanks.
Can I then just ask, Doctor, so when you are the Lieutenant General appointed as Deputy National Commissioner in 2011, and you say you moved to the slow lane, what was your expectation to be appointed as National Commissioner or?
So on that level, as the Deputy National Commissioner, you are Deputy National Commissioner, and then if an opportunity arises to move to the next level, is where you are supposed to compete with others.
Okay, and you say you deal with that later as to what should have happened in that period?
Yeah, I will touch on that.
Yes, okay. Then at paragraph 38, I don't want you to deal with the entire paragraph. You mention National Instruction 2 of 2001, which deals with issues relating to informers. If you can just tell us about that National Instruction, I don't want to really deal with 38 because it does become an important aspect of your evidence later.
Yes, without reading this paragraph, Commissioners, it's just an indication that in performing duties as a police official, from time to time, you get assistance from people who volunteer information. There has been different labels that are put on people who are volunteering the information. And then a National Instruction 2 of 2001 came into place to assist with the registration of informers and the remuneration thereof. Even before this instruction came in place, there has always been a practice of utilizing informants. I have been utilizing that effectively from the time that I was still working at Hillbrow. People from different areas phoning, providing information about the existence of firearms. You get that information, you task people, not telling them where you are getting information. They must just go and execute. That is how you deal with information coming from people who are prepared to tell you as a police so that you can solve crime. So that is, in essence, the importance of that national instruction.
Thank you. And then if I could ask you to go to paragraph 43, but if you wish to deal with 41, I would ask you, then you may do so, but I would want you to do 43.
When I left the DPCI, it was on a sound operational footing as on 2010 and 2011 financial year, which is the time that I left the DPCI. Its performance was unparalleled performance of 14,793 arrests and 7,037 convictions.
And then on page 37, paragraph 48.
On the 17th of August 2009, I was expressly assigned by the Deputy National Commissioner Dramat to investigate the allegations of murder of Opara Mukibe affecting crime intelligence based on the information note compiled by Assistant Commissioner Bushi Engelbrecht, one of the best investigators that the country produced. I complied. On the 24th of October 2010, the Saturday Star newspaper published a detailed article about irregularities at Crime Intelligence. The story included mismanagement of Crime Intelligence Division, appointment of criminals, and nepotism by appointing official in covert component. On 26 October 2010, while I was the divisional commissioner at the Hawks, General Kele assigned me to investigate these irregular appointments at Crime Intelligence. I established that the family members of personnel in Crime Intelligence were irregularly appointed in covert environment. My post of divisional commissioner was abolished on the 31st of January 2011.
Are you saying it was as a result of this investigation, or was it just coincidence?
It was not said what is the reason for closing the position that I'm holding in the Hawks, but when it got phased out, I have to speculate on what is the reason. It's the investigation that I'm conducting. So it was not stated.
Thank you. Paragraph 49.
I was appointed as Deputy National Commissioner of Crime Detection on 1st February 2011, and I continued with departmental cases of crime intelligence. On the 3rd of March 2011, Crime Intelligence Division was restructured, and the Divisional Commissioner was to account directly to the National Commissioner on covert component, while he accounts to the DNC crime detection on other components. Copy of appointment as Deputy National Commissioner is attached as Annexure SGL 13.
Thank you. Then at paragraph 52.
Over and above these two portfolios, on 29 July 2011.
Sorry, General, 52.
52.
Yes.
On 24 October 2011, when the former President Jacob Zuma suspended General Kele and announce the appointment of Major General Sibusiso Ntahla Mkhwanazi as the acting National Commissioner until further notice as the person that he trusted. I was one of the 30 lieutenant generals that formed what is called top management of the SAPS. After a public outcry, Major General Mkhwanazi who had a few months in the rank of Major General, was on 26 October 2011 promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General in terms of what was recorded as Section 207, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996. The letter of appointment dated 27 of October 2011 is attached as Annexure SGL 15. It is on this day that Brigadier Sharon Gaylor sent an email to Lieutenant Generals Pahlani, Nchwe and me, directing as follows: "Good day, Lieutenant General. By direction of the acting National Commissioner, Major General Mkhwanazi, you are kindly requested to attend the funerals as guardians of the Eastern Cape. Major General Mkhwanazi will not attend. Thank you very much. Respectfully, Brigadier Gaylor, Executive Assistant to the National Commissioner, General B.H. Keller, South African Police Service." Copy of this email is attached as Annexure SGL 16.
I just wanted to ask you, why are you referring to this email? I don't understand its relevance.
I wanted to demonstrate the interference of politics in policing, that it comes way back from 2009 in terms of my view. Others may push it back. I have had others putting it since the Bologwani period. But from the work that I have been doing, I have seen it from 2009, that there is a serious interference by politics in policing matters.
Sorry, you'll forgive me, but how does you getting an instruction to attend a funeral, what does that have to do with interference?
Under normal circumstances, a junior, a subordinate will not give an instruction to a senior officer. It is only when there is interference that there is that confusion.
And who's the junior, the brigadier?
No, the instruction comes from a major general instructing lieutenant generals.
But isn't he at that point, isn't he in an acting role?
Yeah, that is the incorrect processes that is being done. You don't appoint a junior to instruct seniors.
Okay, that's the point you want to make regarding that. Then if we can go to 55 on page 41.
Still on 27 October 2011, 5 officials from crime intelligence hatched a conspiracy theory against General Tele, Lieutenant General Mzwandile Petros, Lieutenant General Arnold Dramat, and me. On 3 November 2011, the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence wrote a letter to the President, the Minister of Police, and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to lodge a complaint of conspiracy.
Sorry, can I just ask, who was the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence then?
The Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence was Lieutenant General Mdluli.
Thank you.
On 12th of May 2012, a task team was set by the minister to consider the complaint. While this cloud was hanging over our heads, General Pierre was appointed as the National Commissioner on 12 June 2012. On the 5th of July 2012, Minister announced that the allegations of conspiracy were unfounded. when I asked a copy of report in the letter dated 23 of November 2012, the minister refused via a letter dated 6 December of 2012 on the ground that it is for cabinet.
Thank you. 56.
The acting national commissioner who directed that grabbers be moved away from the DPCI to crime intelligence amended the list of senior managers who could recommend the interception and monitoring. The amended list required the acting national commissioner and the acting divisional commissioner to be the only ones who could recommend the application of interception and monitoring to the designated judge as appointed in terms of regulation of interception of communication related information Act 70 of 2002. That was a serious anomaly and it created more risks than solutions. I had to come and finalize the assets record during my era as national head, as the equipment was still in the name of the DPCI.
And when you say in that paragraph, the acting national commissioner who directed that grabbers be moved away from the DPCI to crime intelligence, who was that acting national commissioner?
The acting national commissioner at the time was Lieutenant General Mukwanazi.
Thank you. Paragraph 57.
While the investigation of crime intelligence was continuing, information of threat was brought to our attention. Based on that information, a threat assessment was commissioned by then acting divisional commissioner of crime intelligence, Lieutenant General Masemula, as per letter dated 14 of February 2012. Based on this, I received one-day protection. Copy of the letter is attached here to as annexure SGL 19.
And then paragraph 58.
On 24 February 2012, during the Deputy National Commissioner and the National Commissioner morning sessions, Lieutenant General Mukwanazi informed us that he had met the state president who told him as follows: I keep on hearing this name, Lebeya, 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 Lebeya. Who is this Lebeya? He told us that he explained to the president that Lebeya was a general who was just trying to do his job. Lieutenant General Mukwanazi submitted his statement to the State Capture Commission in this regard. He directed me to write a letter to the state president to explain why I investigated the then Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Richard Mudluli. On the 3rd of February 2012, I submitted the letter to the acting national commissioner, which was addressed to the state president, the minister of police, and the acting national commissioner as communication of that nature had to follow those channels. Lieutenant General Mukwanazi advised that I should address the letter only to him, and he would in turn communicate with the president. I then changed the addressees to him alone, which reduced the volume of the letter to 10 pages. The letter had annexures that made 86 pages and was classified. The report answered the allegations that I was colluding with Dr. Matthews Posa, Lieutenant General Lala, Lieutenant General Praise, and Major General Freyer. I concluded the letter by stating that, I quote, I am hoping that this information will assist in balancing the level of the scale of trust painted by those who may have presented a picture about me without me, I close quote.
Thank you. Paragraph 59.
On 28 of March 2012, Lieutenant General Mukwanazi informed the Deputy National Commissioners that the Minister of Police have directed him to appoint another Major General as Divisional Commissioner without advertising the post. He complied with the directive and circulated the appointment on 30 March 2012, with the appointment becoming effective on the 1st of April 2012.
Can you just clarify who was the Minister of Police?
The Minister of Police was Minister Mtetwa.
And who was the Major General to be appointed as Divisional Commissioner?
The Major General was B.S. Mugubane.
Thank you.
The appointee was to report directly to the acting national commissioner, which is not structurally correct, as the post fell under the deputy national commissioner for physical resource management. Indeed, the predecessor to the appointee reported to the latter. A letter of appointment is attached as Annexure SGL 20. This shows that political interference has been taking place since 2009. On the same day, Lieutenant General Mukwanazi restructured the division crime intelligence away from crime detection to report directly to the National Commissioner, leaving the detective service and forensic services as the only division resorting under Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection. Letter of restructuring is attached here to as per Annexure SGL 21. He further appointed Lieutenant General Setlatlem Fanima Semula, who he had earlier appointed as the acting Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, as Deputy National Commissioner Policing with effect from the 1st of April 2012. He provided me with a letter of appreciation for acting in such a position from the 10th of April 2011 to the 31st of March 2012, which is attached as per Annexure SGL 22. He also provided me with a letter indicating that I should sign an agreement to be responsible for the two divisions, Detective Service and Forensic Services. A copy of the letter is attached here to Annexure SGL 23.
And then paragraph 62.
After the appointment of General Pierre, Lieutenant General Mukwanazi did not have a post, as he never had. He was reflected on an island in the structure, and later a post was created for him called Facility Management and Operations. It is from that moment that the rank was regularized.
By the rank, you mean Lieutenant General?
Yes, the rank of Lieutenant General, because in terms of the regulations, at the time when it was announced, we didn't have a rank of Lieutenant General in that fashion in terms of the regulation. The rank of Lieutenant General existed in 1990, 1992, and 1993 amendments of the regulations. In 1995, it fell off, so we never had Lieutenant General that is not married, that is not attached to specific post. That is, you have to be having Lieutenant General. That's why there is always something in bracket. It can't be Lieutenant General without anything in bracket. That is how the regulations are written.
Okay, paragraph 63.
During 2012, I was tasked by General Pierre in the presence of the Minister of Police to deal with the cases of political killings in Mpumalanga.
Sorry, Doctor, when you say Minister of Police, if you could just say who it was at the time so that we can keep track.
During 2012, I was tasked by General Pierre in the presence of the Minister of Police, Honorable Mtetwa, to deal with the cases of political killings in Mpumalanga. When I asked for copies of these cases from the provincial head of the DPCI in Mpumalanga, he advised me that the divisional commissioner had already asked copies. When I checked with the divisional commissioner of detective service, he told me that he has been tasked by the national commissioner. It was a divisional commissioner who reports to me, who was tasked by the national commissioner, signaling that she was, in my view, politically instructed not to task me on matters resulting under my responsibility.
And who was the Divisional Commissioner of Detective Service that you're referring to there?
The divisional commissioner was Lieutenant General Munu.
Thank you. '64, sorry.
Restructuring, which has been used by every national commissioner, including the acting national commissioners, has been used to either constructively enhance the organization, destructively weaken the organization, negatively weaponize it against adversaries, and nepotistically created posts to accommodate loyalists. On 12 August 2012, General Pierre indicated that she wants to restructure the police and reduce the number of deputy national commissioners. The first restructuring came on the 30th of August 2013. I was offered a post of head SAPS Research Institute. I was to move from a post of deputy national commissioner to a post of head SAPS Research Institute, which meant that I would have been demoted as defined in section 186, subsection 2, paragraph A of the Labor Relations Act 66 of 1995. Demotion must be preceded by a board of inquiry as provided for in section 34 of the South African Police Service Act of 1995, read in conjunction with Regulation 64 of the South African Police Service Regulations of 1964 and Standing Order General 121 1D. That is the treatment that I endured in the police for fighting corruption.
Paragraph 66.
I was dismissed by General Pierre on the 31st of May 2014 without following a legal process, indicating that I refused to accept the post. However, she placed me on pensions roll because the system did not recognize the novel dismissal, which she called self-redundancy. After full 2 years of this unlawful treatment, the court reinstated me on the 16th of May 2016 and discharged me on a no-fault discharge on the 31st of May 2016, which is a form of retirement. During the last month's discussion with the police, I've offered to take the post of Deputy National Commissioner, Crime Detection, which was now re-established through restructuring. I was told that the acting National Commissioner said that he had already placed senior managers in post. When I said, but there is no one appointed in the post, they just said, no, it would appear that it is from above. The SAPS expressly apologized for all the treatment I received, which I accepted. I attached copies of certificates of service dated 9 December 2014, 1st July 2016, and 2 August 2016, as well as a letter of apology as per Annexures GL 24.
Then at paragraph 67, you referred to several attempts that were made to get rid of you by colleagues and individuals of highly questionable character. But could I ask you to deal with subparagraph 67.3, 4, and 5?
Maybe before you do that, Dr. Libia, in paragraph 66, who is the acting national commissioner at this point?
The acting national commissioner was Lieutenant General Pahlane. Paragraph 67.3. Major General retired advocate Ngitsini Prince Mugodedi reported me as protected disclosure to the authorities, including the presidency, the ministry, and parliament, to the effect that I'm occupying the post unlawfully, contrary to the provisions of Chapter 6, capital letter A of the South African Police Service Act, as corrected by the Constitutional Court.
And which position is this that you're referring to, that I was occupying the post unlawfully?
This is the position of national head of the DPCI.
And when did he report this?
I think that it is just before his disciplinary processes was finalized. I think it's 2021, around 2021. I do not have the specific date.
Okay. And 67.4?
Another former police official, advocate, now no longer advocate, Malesela Daniel Defu, reported me to the authorities, including the presidency, ministry, and the parliament, to the effect that I am occupying the post unlawfully, contrary to the provisions of Chapter 6, capital letter A of the South African Police Service Act, as corrected by the Constitution.
And 67.5?
Paul Robert O'Sullivan, a private investigator, made similar allegations and lodged a case at court, contrary to the provisions of Chapter 6A of the South African Police Service Act, as corrected by the Constitutional Court. He only withdrew the case when our response shows that provisions of the law that he relies on was deleted by the Constitutional Court. Our relationship has always been cordial until I refused to provide him with the status of a case that the directorate were dealing with.
And when was this? What year are we talking about?
I think that it is 2023, 2024.
And do you recall what case he was asking about, the status of the case?
Yes, I do recall the case he was talking about.
Is it a case that you can mention here or no?
It is, without detailing it, it is commonly known as the Pala matter.
Okay, he was asking you for a status update on the Pala matter.
Yes, when he phoned me, he said that he's sitting here with his friend who's a doctor, and then I just need progress of this status of the case.
And did he say in what capacity he was asking for the status?
He did not say, but I just felt somebody else is asking me to provide him with the status of the matter that is handled by the Hawks. And he tells me that he's sitting with his friend doctor. They have got nothing to do with that. I can't report to any other person about progress of matters in the DPCI. So I did not ask him your status because I know he's not a lawyer, and I couldn't understand why he will ask me to provide him with the status of the case.
Did he mention the friend who's a doctor that he was sitting with by name?
He did mention the friend that he was sitting with, commissioners.
And he said, the name is what?
He said that he's sitting with Dr. Benjani Chauke, his friend.
Thank you.
You say in the same paragraph, Dr. Libya, that your relationship has always been cordial until you refused to provide. What was the nature of your relationship up to that point?
Mr. O'Sullivan, the first time I knew about him was, I think, 2001, when he was the complainant on the cases against National Commissioner Silebi. So I was in charge of the detective service in Gauteng. So this matter resorted under the detective service in Gauteng. So I had to appoint people to conduct the investigation. So I even had to visit his office so that he go and show me where he says that he made a U-turn when the people wearing balaclavas were shooting at him. So it is those kind of cases that I knew him. And later on, I think that it is somebody else who has been providing information. And then he also came to my office at some stage. So it is somebody else who report matters. He does report matters. In some of the matters, he's the complainant, where we have even effected arrest when we didn't have a complainant. So is that type of person, and then information from time to time, he will email to different people. So that is how I know him.
Thank you. Chair, may we take the tea adjournment now?
Let's adjourn and resume at 11:30.
1, 2. We are ready to resume. Please make sure that your devices are quiet. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Sigels.
Thank you, Chair. General, when we adjourned, we had dealt with the paragraph 67, several attempts that were made to get rid of you in SAPS by colleagues and individuals of highly questionable character. We had just completed Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. The next one is at page 50, 67.6.
A self-proclaimed whistleblower, Gladness Patricia Mashale, initially complained about me on the 17th of November 2010, where she wrote a letter to the state president, Zuma, because of the outcome of the investigation that she did not like. After September 2021, she complained in the social media that I had been appointed unlawfully and that I was occupying the post unlawfully, contrary to the provision of Chapter 6, capital letter A of the South African Police Service Act, as corrected by the Constitutional Court. I believe that she was upset by the fact that she had not been appointed in the two captains' posts in the Hawks Free State.
The investigation that you referred to, she was, because of the outcome of the investigation that she did not like. What was that investigation?
There were complaints that were lodged against the Free State top management, including the provincial commissioner. I was tasked to investigate those matters by the national commissioner. So after conclusion of the investigation, I submitted my report to the national commissioner at the time was General Kele. It is based on those investigations that she needed a particular outcome, but my recommendation was somehow different to what was expected. So in my recommendation, I said that because of the way in which the province is divided, because of this layer at the top, it is better to transfer the following top management out of the province, which I think that is what they have done. They place others in Gauteng, Limpopo, and Northwest Province. So that is the outcome that she didn't like.
And then you keep saying Chapter 6A of the South African Police Service Act as corrected by the Constitutional Court. What are you referring to as corrected by the Constitutional Court?
There were certain provisions in the Act that were requiring individuals to be retiring at a particular age and the like, things like the minister producing some policy affecting the Hawks and the like. So when the things were challenged, it went to the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court deleted certain provisions in the Act, and I suspect these individuals did not delete their own copies. So they kept on reading what the Constitutional Court has deleted, because the Constitutional Court has said, with effect from this date, this provision are deleted. So this is what they are reading. They challenge me that I'm over age. I'm supposed to have retired they read what is deleted there in the Act. So that is what I say, that it is corrected by the Constitutional Court.
Okay, thank you. And then at 67.7,
Senior managers from crime intelligence brought a list of recommended candidates for promotion when I was acting as the National Commissioner. In that list was my spouse, who was an administrative clerk, was included for promotion to the rank of warrant officer. I recused myself and referred the matter to Lieutenant General Stander. The process died down. I considered that to be an enticement as I investigated the irregular appointments in crime intelligence. Colonel Rudolphs stated in an affidavit to the State Capture Commission that Colonel Naidu informed him about this plan. Those who were in crime intelligence that time might shed light, as the divisional commissioner was no longer in office when that happened.
okay, then at paragraph 68, you say that the lesson to be learned from this is that there are individuals that can be used by faceless people with ulterior motives. Now, who are the faceless people in paragraph 67, subparagraph 67, that you are referring to, and who are the individuals that are using these for ulterior motives?
From time to time, you will find that there are complaints that are anonymous, that are being sent to various offices, such as the state president, the minister, parliament, who are not naming themselves. And some of those individuals, obviously, I have mentioned their names, who are informed by others. It means some other people are pushing on them. So I cite example of people that are being used. So only investigation will unearth that one.
But insofar as people are being used regarding you, you say it's those people that's listed in paragraph 67? Is that what you're saying?
Including those who are listed in paragraph 67. Those that are anonymous, they write these things and say that it's anonymous. They write to the state president and say anonymous.
Since 27 April 1994, this may not be considered that important, but I think it is important. We talk about the president, not state president.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Then, General, if we can go to the next topic on page 52. It's your appointment as the national head of DPCI, but we've already covered that when you dealt with your background. So I propose that we skip that topic and go to the next topic, which is the existence of organized criminal groups in the criminal justice system, page 54. And if you could start with paragraph 73.
The first stage of fighting organized crime after the promulgation of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act 121 of 1998, which is commonly known as the POCA, was the establishment of organized crime units and the selected organized crime section SOCs as per National Instruction 5 of 1999. A copy of the National Instruction is attached as per Annexure SGL 26. The identification of organized criminal groups follows a scientific method called crime threat analysis or organized crime threat analysis, the CTA/OCTA process. The guidelines were documented by Superintendent Ronel van Wyk and André Crosse in February 1999 and updated in February 2000. These guidelines cover all of the issues relating to organized crime. On the 21st of February 2000, as the head of specialized investigations in Gauteng province, I established and chaired organized crime combating team. Copies of correspondence relating to this organized crime approach are attached as per Annexure SGL 27. On the 10th of April 2000, when Gauteng was presenting 113 organized crime projects at National Head Office, I was responsible for the task before National Commissioners Levy.
Then you refer to for Gauteng that you drafted the guidelines on organized crime approach in July 2000. Was that guidelines, was it ever implemented in Gauteng?
Yes, when I drafted the guideline, because I was the head in that organized crime process, I implemented it, we operationalized that.
Then if I could ask you to go to page 55, the sentence after Annexure SLG 28, if you can continue from there, please.
The description of informer is incorporated in the document. I have also written a document in 2004 titled Guidelines on Organized Crime Project Investigation, which was necessitated by the suspension of CTA OCTA process by National Crime Combating Forum Instruction 29 of 2002, which was done on the 5th of July 2002. That was intended to be for a year, but was never reviewed. The instruction is attached as per Annexure SGL 29. The difficulties identified in dealing with organized crime were attended to, which resulted in the establishment of organized crime units in the National Prosecuting Authority to prosecute cases emanating from organized crime units of the SAPS. Copies of the correspondence of 2004 and 2006 are attached as per Annexure SGL 30. The current project committee and organized crime secretariat must be effectively implemented by crime intelligence by way of analysis and identification of syndicates.
Then 74.
The identification of syndicates is dependent on the effectiveness of crime intelligence. The focus of crime intelligence seems to leave much more to be desired. While there were 481 organized criminal groups with 2,178 primary suspects identified in 1995, in the first quarter of 1999, the figure was 793 organized criminal groups with 11,658 individuals. The figure had dwindled to 72 organized crime projects, 29 which are handled by the DPCI and 43 by the Detective Service. That is organized criminal groupings, 72 organized criminal groupings. As on the 27th of May 2025, I doubt that the project under investigation is amongst these 72 projects.
On all these figures, you're talking about those that were identified, which means there could have been more than those identified.
Yes, Commissioner, that is correct. If we were able to identify that number in 1995, we can't say that organized criminal groups are no longer in existence. Now that we only have got 72, it means there is a failure elsewhere.
All right, thank you.
And when you refer to, I doubt that the project under investigation is amongst these 72 projects, which project are you referring to?
I'm referring to the project that the political killing task team and organized crime in Gauteng were handling of the killing of person in the far rent,
Mr. Swart?
Mr. Swart of QTech.
Okay, that's the project that you're referring to. The killing of Mr. Swart.
That's correct,
Okay.
Commissioners.
Then if we can go to 76, paragraph 76.
When I left the DPCI, there were still high-profile cases that were under investigation. This included cases against ministers, directors generals, lieutenant generals, a judge, police officers, soldiers, political leaders, organized criminal groups. There is absolutely no level that we have not reached. I understood that the DPCI is a leading entity in the Republic in fighting serious organized crime, serious corruption, and serious commercial crime. I do not believe that the insinuation by Captain Maxwell Wanda to the effect that he is from the topest, which relates to the political task team, is correct.
Okay, then if we can go to the next topic, which is at page 59, imposters of members of the DPCI. Paragraph 81.
Criminals often masquerade as
You want to
officials.
read the heading? Please read the
I said
heading also.
imposters of members of the DPCI.
Criminals often masquerade as officials to deceive unsuspecting potential victims. In criminal justice system, they will pretend to be either police officials, members of special investigation unit, traffic officials, or national prosecuting authority officials. When allegations are made against any person, these individuals will approach that person of interest and pretend to be from law enforcement agencies that can assist in making the case go away. Some victims have fearfully paid.
82.
As in December 2024, the DPCI was aware of more than 30 unresolved cases where people were pretending to be from the Hawks when they were not. We had in the past arrested persons who pretended to be from the Hawks, some wearing Hawks t-shirts. Some suspects called themselves Major General Kana, Major General Mudli, Major General Masuluge, Brigadier Chavalala, Brigadier Sneyman, and Brigadier Munama. Some were inmates operating inside correctional services facilities. The following are 20 examples that appeared in the print media.
You then deal with those examples, and the examples that you want to highlight can be found on page 64. We can start with paragraph 84.
It is worth mentioning that several persons were using my photographs to defraud members of the public. One such person, Tabo Enoch Teledzani, who was using cell phone number 060173.
You don't have to read it, it's fine.
Was arrested under a case that was registered in November 2024 under Harsfontein case 13 of 11/2024. There were complaints received from Limpopo, Northwest, Western Cape, Gauteng, and Free State about people pretending to be me. A reasonable national head who is aware of the existence of imposters will not sit back and do nothing when information suggests that some people are pretending to be from the DPCI, and more so, misrepresenting themselves as having been sent by the same national head.
And then 84, you don't need to read the cell phone numbers into the record.
Over and above this number, some of the individuals who pretended to be me reflected their cell phone contact numbers, which I have listed with my picture, that have been downloaded from internet. On one incident, the imposter created and labeled a warrant of arrest against the deputy president of the country, Sipokosa Paulus Mashatile, on the 11th of November 2024. This document bears my real signature from the mandate of the DPCI document, which had been altered by way of a computer and new information inserted, a lesson that not all documents that look real are real. The photograph below depicts the nature of the fake warrant of arrest.
And then at paragraph 86, you refer to photographs with your picture with false numbers, and you give us an example of that on page 66. And then if we can go to paragraph 88.
I learned on 7th November 2025 during the testimony by Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department EMPD Chief Jabulani Isaac Mabieye that EMPD were caught pretending to be members of the Hawks under case number 797 of 3/2023. His colleague, a former member of the EMPD Commissioner Revos Peace, also highlighted the challenge of impersonators, including Blue Light Gang.
Then the next topic, invitation to witnesses A and B for a response to the set scenario. I'm not going to deal with this. Effectively, what you've done is you've set out what you refer to as a 10-mark crisis management question, which you invite them to respond to regarding the events of 6 December 2024 and the opinions that they formed that the Hawks were in fact trying to interfere with the takedown operation at Mr. Molefe's residence, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if we can then go to the next topic, you can deal with this later insofar as when you answer your questions about some of the criteria or the requirements or factors that you took into consideration when you made your decision. But I don't think it's something that we need to deal with in this as part of your evidence where you invite witness A and B to respond to an examination question by you. Is that fair?
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Can we then go to page 69, which is duration of relationship with Mr. Malcolm X? And you can start at paragraph 91.
The ability to solve crime is based on the support one receives from various role players. Part of these role players are members of the public who are not prepared to be spectators, but to act. I have been able to solve many cases using this methodology. When National Instruction 2 of 2001, that deals with certain types of people who are not spectators in fighting crime, came into operation, I was familiar with the system. It is the same methodology that is used by witness A and B. These witnesses have indicated that they have acquired information from a person whose detail is saved in their phone and obtained information from an inmate. At times, this methodology could go to the extent of applying the provision of Section 205 and 252A of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977. You always open your eyes and apply this method with caution. It is for that reason that the cautionary rule will apply in dealing with their evidence.
At 92, you speak about your first meeting with Mr. Malcolm X.
On 18th of April 2023, Malcolm X came to my office for a reason that belonged in camera. It was my first time to meet him on his request. In the process, he also asked to take a photo, which I agreed, as most people like to take a picture with me. As I was not an undercover police official, allowing a member of the public to take pictures with me is not prohibited. There is nothing wrong with that. While several people have been taking pictures with me, I only know of one who used the picture to claim that I gave him authority to investigate cases on behalf of the Hawks. He only stopped when we enlisted the services of a senior counsel who drafted a letter that our attorney served on him to cease and desist.
Just for clarity, the person that you say, I only know of one who used the picture to claim that I gave him authority to investigate cases. Is it also Malcolm X, or are you referring to a different person?
It is a different person who also came to the office and did the same of taking a photo, and thereafter pretended to other individuals that I have tasked him to investigate cases on behalf of the Hawks.
Thank you. 93.
The fact that an individual is known by a police official does not protect that person from any law enforcement agency in case such person violates the law. We have in the past arrested individuals who had provided us potential information, and when caught en route to committing a crime, they would insinuate that the police knew about the operation. We are always alive to the possibility of double briefing, debriefing. A user of this methodology must always be on the alert.
Page 71, paragraph 94.
On the 23rd of October 2023, Malcolm X was arrested by the serious corruption investigation of head office DPCI, together with Warrant Officer Desmond Campbell, Gegana 52 of Crime Intelligence, Warrant Officer James...
You don't have to read their ages, it's fine.
Warrant Officer James Sekaulelo of K9 Doc Unit, and Sergeant Raymond Mpua Mogaile of K9 Doc Unit. The component that effected arrest is based at head office of the DPCI, and I was the national head of the DPCI at the time. In whatever capacity he may have known me, it does not prevent members from doing their work, as we have all taken an oath of office in terms of Section 17E, subsection 10 of the South African Police Service Act.
95.
On 6th of December 2024, Malcolm X, who is a member of the public, phoned me to alert me that there are people who claims to be from the Hawks and to have been sent by me to an address in Sandton. I knew that I had not sent any member there. I took it that in case there were people who claimed to have been sent by me, they would be imposters. Knowing the scenario painted about impersonators, I had to ensure that action is taken to verify the information, and in case of impersonators, effect an arrest. In case of legitimate members, confirm as such and allow them to continue. A reasonable senior manager in my shoes would have reacted the same way. Indeed, the team verified that the people were police officials, but not Hawks, and they allowed the team to proceed without disturbances, as confirmed by Lieutenant General Mkwanazi.
When you say as confirmed by General Mkwanazi, you're referring to what he said in the 6th July press briefing?
That is correct. That is correct, Commissioners.
Okay. But we will get to the evidence that was presented about alleged interference or disturbances by the people that were on the scene on the day, because General Mkwanazi wasn't on the scene.
Correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. Then, in fairness to you, General, the next paragraph is quite a lengthy one, and it refers to an article that was published by Bernadette Wicks in the News 24 regarding the takedown operation at Mr. Molefe's offices. I just wanted to understand from you, what is it that you want to extract from that article? It seems that you want to highlight something from there.
Thank you, Commissioners. All what I needed to highlight in this paragraph is to indicate that as on the 6th of March 2025, it was already known why the members of the Hawks were sent there. So at the time in July when the statements are made, I thought that this shall have clarified the position why members of the Hawks went to Sandton.
Because of the fear that they were impersonating the Hawks.
That's correct,
Okay,
Commissioner.
thank you. And then at paragraph 97 on page 73.
Malcolm X is not my friend. I also needed to be adding that he is also not my enemy.
Okay, thank you. Then media briefing, the next topic, media briefing of the 6th July 2025 and facts on allegations. At 98, you quote from, I think, the briefing, and this relates to the 6th December takedown operation. And I think this, what you want to highlight here, we won't read the whole thing, is that General Nkwanazi in that briefing and on page 74 said, fortunately, when they arrived there, the members realized that it is indeed the police operations, so they allowed the members to carry out their operation without disturbance. That's what you wanted to highlight from that.
That is correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. Then at 99.
It is probable that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi had known about the involvement of serious organized crime in November 2024 when he approved the request by Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo to send the members from KwaZulu-Natal to Gauteng because of organized crime, which resulted in the killing of Mr. Swart of QTech. Having become so aware, it should have triggered the application of Section 16, subsection 4, paragraph B of the South African Police Service Act 68 of 1995, as indicated in paragraph 14 supra. In that, if that is the case, had he complied with this provision, I would have known about the operation and will not have sent members from the DPCR.
This is, of course, assuming that he wanted you to know about the operation.
Just repeat that, Commissioner.
This is assuming that General Khumalo wanted anyone, any other agency to know about the operation within SAPS.
Yes. Yes, sir, Commissioner.
16, as I understand it, your reliance on Section 16(4)(b) is on the basis that the person, so the entity, in this case PKTT or General Khumalo, would have wanted you to know about the operation.
The obligation is put on the provincial commissioner. So they shall have discussed with General Khumalo. Let's inform the national head if needed.
If needed, yes.
Yeah, and if I had known, I would not have sent members of the DPCR.
And when you say so it would have been General Khumalo, Dumisani Khumalo, and it would have been the PC of Gauteng. That's what you're saying?
If the PC of Gauteng had known, I would have expected the PC of Gauteng to inform me.
Yes.
If the PC of KwaZulu-Natal has known, I would have expected the PC of Gauteng to inform me.
You said if the PC of KwaZulu-Natal knew, you would have expected him to tell you as well about an operation in Gauteng.
Usually, normally it is the provincial commissioner who have got jurisdiction. But because this one is happening in a different province where the provincial commissioner is operating from, I still expect a provincial commissioner to inform me, but the law is not crafted in such a way that it say if the matter is happening in another province, because then in terms of projects, when it crosses the borders, it becomes a different level 3, 4. Then that is when it must be elevated to the DPCR.
Sorry, go ahead. Does this not apply where DPCI's resources are required? So in other words, if they require DPCI's resources and expertise, then they inform you. Is that not how it works?
That is correct. When it is organized crime on level 3, they should inform the national head.
But my reading of it is they should inform you where they require your expertise and your resources. So if it was, for example, say it was an ordinary drug bust by SAPS, why would they have to inform you about it?
Yeah, no, if it is an ordinary drug, if it is an ordinary crime, they will not.
It's the same with an arrest. If it's an ordinary arrest for murder, why would they have to inform DPCI? Unless they require, as 16.2 says, your expertise and your resources, then they would have to notify you.
Yes, if it is, I agree. If it is not an organized crime matter, it is an ordinary crime, they don't have to inform me. So I'm trying to indicate that if it is an organized crime project, if it relates to organized crime activities, that is where one expects to be informed.
Yes, because I had understood one of the witnesses earlier to say Schedule 3 offenses fall within the mandate of DPCI. So if it's a Schedule 3, they can't, as SAPS, ignore you and just, you know.
Yeah, I did not follow that witness. Level 3.
I understand that part, even if you did not follow, because you've just said so yourself. If it is organized crime activities, then naturally DPCI would be involved. And if they require your resources and expertise, they would inform you because they would need your assistance in that regard.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes.
Thank you.
General, I just wanted to check the facts of the operation. The killing of Mr. Swart is something that happens in Gauteng. When you say you would have expected General Mkhwanazi to inform you, on what basis is that?
Commissioner, the killing of Mr. Swart, I'm not supposed to be informed about that. It doesn't result in the mandate of the DPCR. It only comes when we are classifying this as organized crime, not the murder, Commissioner.
The question still, because you, as I've understood your statement and your testimony, you say if things were done properly and there was proper coordination, you would have expected General Mkhwanazi to alert you that there is this operation, and the question really is, why him? I understood from your statement, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that that expectation came from the fact that he authorized members of PKTT to come and assist the GCI ops. I understood that to be your basis, that he should have informed you. Am I correct in that understanding, or is there a different basis?
Yes, because then it is being classified as an organized crime, not only the murder of Mr. Swart. So if it is classified as an organized crime, I expected that at least one should be informed.
Commissioner Baloy's point is that then it would be the provincial commissioner in Gauteng who should inform you, not a provincial commissioner in KZN, because this is not a KZN case.
Yes, so I will accept that and say that whoever provincial commissioner is aware of that, the national head need to be informed. So I agree that it could be the provincial commissioner of Gauteng. I'm not sure if he was aware himself.
But why did you bring the KZN commissioner into the picture?
It is because of the sending of the members from KZN. I thought that it means that they are aware of particular organized crime projects that need to be handled in Gauteng. So it is the point where I can see the knowledge of organized crime.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Paragraph 100.
Lieutenant General Mokwanazi seems to have relied on the opinion of witness A and witness B. I have noted that he has not repeated this allegation in his statement or oral testimony in both the commission or the ad hoc committee in Parliament. I take that he has effectively withdrawn the allegations of interruption. The allegations are now left with witness A and witness B. The duo are not qualified to express an opinion at all. Captain Maxwell Wanda may express an opinion on forensic field, but not on the purpose of sending the team to a possible scene of crime. He reportedly told the Captain Nokia from Johannesburg, a serious organized crime, that they were SAP's toppest, a self-proclaimed distinction.
And why do you say witnesses A and B are not qualified to say that the TPCI members went there to interfere with the operation?
Yeah, my view is that they are expressing an opinion. The facts, the knowledge of why the members of the Hawks are sent there are known by me. What they are expressing is their view, opinion, which I thought that they should not be expressing that opinion.
If you are saying that on the basis that in a court of law, for example, opinion evidence is not admissible except for opinions made or proffered by experts, that does not apply here.
Yeah, I'm aware that there are certain exceptions where they can express certain opinion on certain things, but in this regard, I felt that they should not express an opinion on this one. I am the one who is the custodian of the Information Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, General. 101.
Throughout my professional interactions, I have never experienced any difficulties or issues in my relationship with Lieutenant General Mokwanazi. Our communication has always been straightforward and without conflict, allowing for effective collaboration and mutual understanding in all matters pertaining to our official duties. During the KwaZulu-Natal Hawks Annual Excellent Awards ceremony, I commended him for saying a spade when he refers to a spade.
And then at paragraph 102, you set out certain interactions you've had with General Mokwanazi starting in March 2024 and then going up to June 2025 to illustrate that you had a cordial, collegial relationship with him, correct?
That's correct, Commissioner.
We won't go through all of them. There is one that I do want to refer to. It is the one on the 26th of January 2025. If you could read that one, please, at paragraph 102.2.
On 26 January 2025, I sent a request as follows. Good morning, General. I hope that you are well. I would like to have a 5 to 10 minutes talk with you relating to some intervention that may be sought from yourself. Thank you, General. We met as we were all in Durban for Police Day activities, and I provided him with assistance sought from him in connection with the Newcastle case number 408 of 1/2025, where it was alleged that a captain enlisted the services of a hitman to kill a sergeant investigating a case which I also brought to the attention of Lieutenant General Sibia. I must add that I received the information about the challenge in this case from the Minister of Police on 21st of January 2025 and arranged to meet the team in KZN as they were not comfortable with meeting my DPCI team in KZN to hear the concerns.
And the Minister of Police we're referring to there is Minister Mkunu?
That is correct, Commissioners.
And you had met with him on the 21st of January 2025, or was it a telephone discussion?
It could be the telephone. I'm not very much sure about the physical meeting because the 20th and the 21st, there shall have been also a physical meeting, which I think that Advocate Andrea Johnson may have testified about. I think it's the 20th. Some I find that possibly on the SMS regarding the provision of the information.
And the minister had raised challenges regarding the investigation with you. What was his concern?
Members from KZN shall have approached him regarding assistance in the investigation that they were doing. They needed assistance. And those included taxi-related killings and the like, which I felt that this belonged in the detective service. General Sevilla could be in a better position to deal with that, while there was a view that the Hawks should deal with that. So I was just trying to deal with that so that it doesn't belong in the DPCI, but let me try to understand the concerns of the members. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Then the next interaction is at 102.6. If you can read that.
I sent him the number of Advocate Andrea Johnson of Investigative Directorate Against Corruption, IDEC, as he requested and confirmed telephonically. He appreciated.
Do you recall when this was?
On the 2nd of June 2020. On the 2nd of June 2025.
The 2nd of June 2025 is where you say he responded to your message and said, "Good morning, General, I wish you well on the next chapter of your life." Was it the same day?
No, I think that I shall have to check my message on the specific date, but I think that is either the 1st or the 2nd.
And did General Mkonazi tell you why he wanted Advocate Johnson's number?
No, he did not tell me. I did not ask him. I just felt that this one is a colleague that I know of. There must be reason. Let me not go into asking the reason why he needed the number of the IDEC Hawk. We work closely with them, so I just provided the number. I did not ask why.
Thank you. 103.
I know Lieutenant General Dumisani Samuel Khumalo of Crime Intelligence Head Office, and I also know Major General Mbuso Khumalo, the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, Crime Detection Gauteng, under whose command the Gauteng detectives, including the Gauteng Organized Crime Unit, resort. I have never had any problem with either of the two, none of the two has shared information about possible operation. That would have obviated the need to send the Hawks team. While accepting that the operation was secret, when the team updated Lieutenant General Khumalo about the developments, a telephone call to advise me that his team was conducting an operation could have avoided unnecessary confusion.
And then at 104, you mentioned communication between you and General Khumalo, Dumisani Khumalo, in 2024 and 2025. And then if I could ask you if you could read from the sentence, 7 lines from the bottom that starts, vetting is an area where crime intelligence is receiving 15%. Do you see that sentence?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Yes.
Maybe before you do that, General, in that preceding paragraph where you talk about if the two Khumalos had called you, it would have obviated any confusion. Is there a practice or protocol where whether it's the DPCI or the other units of the SAPS, when they do operations, is there a protocol or practice where you tell each other? Because that suggests, that paragraph left unexplained suggests that this was a deviation. This may well have been a deviation because of secrecy or whatever reason, other reasons, a deviation from either protocol or practice.
It is not every project or every operation that they have to inform the DPCI. It may not be relevant for that other environment. It is only where one knows that this one is relevant. Under normal circumstances, if it was an investigation of murder, it was not necessary to inform the Hawks.
And that which is relevant to the other unit, that communication or coordination, if you like, is it by way of, is it because there is a protocol in place, whether written or agreed? And I ask the question, in fact, as you answer the question, keep this in mind. When Advocate Johnson was testifying and she spoke, I think might have been the first meeting between you and her, or in some context you met, she says, you said something like, stay in your lane. You said that to her, which means do not encroach on my work. I ask again with that, in that context, that is there anything in place that regulates how you cooperate with each other and therefore do not end up straddling onto each other's mandates and operations, in fact?
It's just a general practice that guide collaboration. You don't find in one document. You find all over. I attached some of the documents that I dealt with in 2000, where I was briefing all of the detectives in Gauteng. Among them, you'll find where we talk about collaboration, working relationship between detective and the crime intelligence and the like, all stakeholders. So it's just a practice where it is necessary to involve others that you may collaborate. Like Section 17, capital letter F, will bring in enforce the collaboration, but it's not every action, operation that require all the stakeholders. Otherwise, there will be a waste of time to deal with something that does not require the others. I think that regarding Advocate Johnson staying in the lane, maybe when it comes to dealing with the laws regarding the establishment of ID, IDEC, and those, maybe I can highlight what I was referring to, staying in the lanes.
Maybe let me ask a much more direct question. In this operation that we are talking about here in your paragraph 103, was this the first time or the first time where an operation which is relevant to your mandate, insofar as this is supposed to be an organized crime operation, which is relevant to your mandate, that the SAPS unit, other SAPS unit as happened here, GCI Ops, conducted without informing you that we have this operation, or is this something that happens with some regularity?
Just to clarify that, Commissioner, the operation itself was not necessarily what the Hawks were supposed to do. We found ourselves going there because there is this perception that people say that they are the Hawks members. Otherwise, under normal circumstances, they should have arrived there and verified that no, they are not the Hawks members. They did not pretend to be members of the Hawks and part ways. It could not have gone any further. The only thing is the accusation that why do you send the members? You are disrupting, you are interfering. That is why it would appear that it seems as if we were saying that that investigation that they were doing was a mandate of the Hawks. It wasn't.
When you say it wasn't the mandate of the Hawks, are you saying there was no need to inform you about it? Maybe let me use a different example. If you didn't get a call from, you say, Malcolm X, to say there are people pretending to be the Hawks, if you hadn't received that call, and these members of the SAPS who are at the property, they conducted their operation and completed it, would you or would you not have a complaint that, but that's an organized crime, that falls within the organized crime definition, we should have been informed as well that you are conducting that kind of operation? I'm trying to get to understand that.
It's correct. I shall not have complained that they are operating on the mandate of the Hawks, because there in the SAPS, they also have got the organized crime component, which was handling that. So if it is organized crime, it's supposed to be organized crime on level 1 and 2. It means it hasn't reached the stage where it needs the Hawks. Under normal circumstances, we wouldn't want that investigation of that case. They can carry on. I still doubt as to whether when they charge everybody, they charge them in terms of the Organized Crime Act, which I think that is the normal crime that they are charging them on, which may be mislabeling of that incident.
Thank you. I am answered. Thank you.
Thank you. General, just want to clarify that when Advocate Johnson was appointed as the IDAC head, there was already a duty arrangement of some sort, as testified by Colonel Rulofse and Captain McLean, that some members of the DPCI were stationed at IDAC. Is that correct?
Just repeat the question, Commissioner.
When Advocate Johnson was appointed as the DPCI, as the IDAC head, there was already a duty arrangement between DPCI and IDAC in place from May 2020, where some of your members were working with IDAC or stationed at IDAC to investigate state capture matters. Is that correct?
It is correct, Commissioners. We seconded the members to ID at the time when the head was still another advocate who was in charge of the ID at that stage, before Advocate Johnson was appointed. She was appointed later when the first advocate resigned. So those members were sent there before Advocate Johnson was appointed as a head of ID before it becomes IDEC.
Was it Advocate Cronier?
Advocate Cronier, correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Back to paragraph 104 from the sentence I'd asked you, vetting. Starting with vetting is an area.
Vetting is an area where crime intelligence is achieving 15% of Hawks vetting instead of 100% as required by Section 17E, Section 2 of the South African Police Service Act. This is an area where the system is dismally failing. Seeking the intervention of the Deputy National Commissioner on the 25th of April 2024 has not helped, as it is common cause that Lieutenant Generals Sibia and Khumalo are not in good terms.
When you say are not in good terms, do you mean at that time when the request was made in April 2024 or what you know now?
At that time when I requested the promise to intervene, but then I realized it's not working because the other one is not complying. And as commonly known, generally it was known the relationship is not healthy at all.
Okay. 105, here you just speak about your relationship with Major General Mbuso Khumalo.
I further checked my phone and realized that I have communicated with Major General Mbuso Khumalo on other matters on 3 dates. In 2 of these calls, I was passing over a complaint from members of the public who contacted me on matters under the provincial detective jurisdictions. This kind of sharing information is a regular occurrence where you receive information and pass it over. I have communicated information to the provincial commissioners and divisional commissioners when such information was brought to my attention, which does not fall under the mandate of the DPCI. That is what collaboration is all about.
Then 106.
I don't associate myself with criminality. I took an oath on 11 May 1984, and I have always respected that oath. I took another oath of office on the 1st of June 2018, and I have abided by that oath until the 31st of May 2025 under the oversight of 2 DPCI judges. I will never betray my oath even when I am out of the system. I love this country, which is the only one that I have. I have worked and applied and competed for each rank that I held in the police, except the DNC position. It is prudent to recall that Section 199, Subsection 6 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, instruct that no member of any security service may obey a manifestly illegal order. No commissioned officer should consciously believe that commissioned officers can take a manifestly unlawful instruction unless it is an admission that he or she takes manifestly unfair instructions.
Unlawful. You said
unlawful
unfair.
Instruction.
Yes. Thank you. Then the next topic is the activities that transpired on 6 December 2024. This relates specifically to your involvement and the allegations that have been made about DPCI interference in the takedown on 6 December. Can start at 107.
The 6th December 2024 was a normal day for me as the national head of the DPCI. Over and above the work that I normally execute, I also had to preside over the DPCI annual Excellent Award celebrations. I still had to do other work, and the telephone call started at 06:59 and ended at 22:29 with 49 calls. On the other side, messages on WhatsApp and SMS will continue. The emails also needed attention. It was a busy assignment.
Continue.
The program of the DPCI Annual Excellent Awards celebration at Diep in die Berg in the eastern side of Pretoria was starting at 15:30. I always arrive early at meetings, sessions, and we were busy with the guests at the holding room where briefing had to take place.
You may continue.
Before the formal Excellent Awards proceedings started, I received a call from Malcolm X, who indicated that there were people who were claiming to be members of the Hawks, who said that they had been sent by me to come and conduct raiding at his friend's place in Sandton. I checked with the provincial head of the DPC in Gauteng, Major General Kadwa, and the Divisional Commissioner of National Priority Offences Operations, Lieutenant General Mboto, as to whether they were aware of members of the Hawks who are busy with an operation in Sandton. They answered in the negative. I asked the address from Malcolm X. Malcolm X forwarded address to me, and I in turn simultaneously forwarded the same to Lieutenant General Mboto and Major General Kadwa, in whose jurisdiction the area resort, to rush to the scene to verify and, if correct, to catch the persons pretending to be from the Hawks in the act. All police officials are bound to comply with and only with lawful instructions. The instruction was never to unlawfully interrupt the legal operation.
And then at 110, you can omit reading the cell phone numbers into the record. We'll just call the 083 number and the 065 number.
The calls received from Malcolm X were from two numbers, the 083 number and the 065 number. When he first called me, he used the cell phone that was saved on my phone, which is the 083 number, from 1543 up to 1623. At 1629, he used one that was not saved on my phone, which is a 065 number, which he identified by sending a message reading Malcolm X. He used this second line from 1629 to 1717. He reverted to his first one at 1748. For communication of this day, I also include communication with Lieutenant General Mboto and Major General Kadwa for completeness. These communications were as follows.
What I propose is that we deal with these messages when we deal with the cross-examination. It is on record. And I would also want to ask you, if you still have those messages, if you could give us screenshots of the actual WhatsApps as opposed to how it is here typed out in your, so that we will be able to flight it for the public and for the commissioners when we deal with this evidence, if you don't mind doing that.
I'll do that, Commissioners.
Thank you. I would like to just ask you to highlight certain aspects of the communication between you and Malcolm X, which has not previously been before us, because what we knew is that between General Kadwa, General Mboto, and yourself, you were sending them messages, but they weren't always able to establish where you got that information from, and it seems that the information came from Malcolm X in your communication with him. One of those refers to, if you look at the address, like you say, at 1551, so we're on page 81. The address came from Malcolm X to you, which you then forwarded to General Mboto and to General Kadwa, correct?
That is correct, Commissioners.
And then at 1608, Malcolm X forwarded a registration of a vehicle to you, starting with MB.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And he sent a message thereafter at 1609, a message that the car registration that was at that of the people who were at the scene, and he says their car registration general. So he was sending you the registration number of one of the vehicles being used by the police officers on the scene. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Can I just ask whether you had requested this from him during your call, or whether it was information that he was volunteering, the registration numbers?
I think that I shall have asked to what types of cars were there. The way you were describing the cars, I needed to be knowing, or do they have registration number, are they marked and the like. So he sent the registration number.
And also on page 82 at 1715, he sends you again a message with vehicle registration and the make and model of the vehicles. And it comes after there's a missed call by him, but just before that, it's not before that, at 1649, you received a call from him for 1 minute. And then there's a missed call at 1714 from him. But then he sends you those vehicle registration and the make and model of the vehicle. Do you recall why he would have sent that to you?
The allegation was that these are impersonators. We were not sure if they are police. These cars are not marked. Some of them do not have registration. So those that have got registration, he was sending those registrations.
No, the two at 1715, those were the vehicles, it says above two. So if you look at the message at 1717, he says the above two cars just arrived and confirmed they were sent by you, General. And that he refers to the BMW and the Golf GTI.
Yes, so it means where the Hawks officials who have arrived at the scene.
Did he want you to confirm that these are your guys, because he's saying they say they were sent by you?
I haven't asked him any further to provide the others that are coming, but I think the original message that I needed to know, the registration of those vehicles, he just continued to send whatever vehicles that are arriving.
Okay, and then at 1748, at the bottom of that page, page 82, he sends you a message saying, "Thank you for sending people who verified that these gentlemen are policemen, and King Nyambose really appreciates all your efforts, General. It is a duty that the policemen you sent were not allowed inside. It is a pity that the policemen you sent were not allowed inside the yard and the house." Who is he referring to as the king?
I don't know King Nyambose, but this seems to be a clan name for Mthethwa, but it appears that way. But he say King Nyambose. I don't know this King Nyambose.
Did you speak to Mr. Mthethwa that day?
Myself?
Yes.
I did not speak to Mr. Mthethwa. I spoke to Malcolm.
But do you know Mr. Mthethwa?
I don't know Mr. Mthethwa.
And if he says he knows you, that would not be true.
People may know me.
Not from TV, as in you are bras, you are friends.
No, I don't know Mr. Mthethwa.
And do you know why he would refer to him as King Nyambose to you, as though you should know who that is?
I don't know why he mentioned King Nyambose. To me, I don't know King Nyambose.
And then if we go to page 83, at 1840, General Kadwa forwards a message to you, you say, that reads incident report. I just want to understand, had you requested an incident report from either General Kadwa or General Mboto?
I did not request. It's a normal practice that when you have done particular assignment, executed a particular assignment, you should give feedback. so that one is comfortable that the assignment has been executed. So he forwarded this as it was forwarded to him.
Okay. Then you say at 21:32, Malcolm X calls me for 3 minutes. That's the second last entry. What were you discussing with him?
He was obviously still talking about the operation that took place, which he was appreciating the fact that we attended.
Oh, so that was the full extent of the 3-minute conversation?
That's correct. Obviously, I can't recall the nitty-gritties, but that was conversation relating to the operation.
Okay, then if, like I said, we'll deal with this timeline in detail when we get to cross-examination. But could I then ask you to do paragraph 111?
It is important to mention that at 1747, our communication office had already shared on our DPCI WhatsApp group a message sent with my picture of the DPCI Awards podium, reading the DPCI Excellence Award underway in Pretoria East, where National Head gave an encouraging address to all attending, including stakeholders of international law enforcement agencies, sponsors, and provincial management. At this time, I had already addressed the delegates on item number 5 of the formal proceedings, which was honoring retirees.
And then 112?
An insinuation that all of these layers of police leadership were to execute an unlawful instruction by commissioned officers is highly irresponsible. The statement by Lieutenant General Mokwanazi indicating that fortunately, when they arrived there, the members realized that it is indeed police operation, so they allowed the members to carry out their operation without disturbances, as logically assured him that they were not dispatched to unlawfully interrupt. I have in the past assigned 11 officials from the DPCI to assist the political killing task team. One of them was a Brigadier Ngwenya, who was based in Mpumalanga DPCI, oversaw investigation. I was the chairperson of the National Steering Committee of the PKTT. I applied for my first top secret security clearance certificate on 26th of January 1999, which I have indicated the time that it was issued, while I was a senior superintendent, and I've always received one after another, every 5 years, with the current one expiring on the 30th of June 2029. I attach a top secret security clearance certificate which is classified. No issue was ever raised about my credibility.
Then if we can go to page 87, a new topic, the establishment of the PKTT. And in our discussions before you started with your testimony this morning, you had indicated that much of what you say here has already been covered by witnesses who previously gave evidence, and all that you will do for purposes of this topic. So that would be the establishment of the PKTT, the formation of the NSC, continuing all the way up to, I think we had said, page 94, you would just summarize your involvement in the PKTT formation and not overlap with the evidence that had previously been given.
Thank you, Commissioners. Indeed, from 2018, I participated in the process of establishment and the continuation of political killing task team When I came in, appointed, it was already there. They started in May, but then I came in and then I participated, which is why I also assigned members of the DPCI to go and assist. One member of the DPCI was in charge of the investigation leg of the team, all of them reporting to Dr. Ramadzwili, at the time who was from the detective service as Major General. So I continued, and then when in 2019, a need arose to establish the National Steering Committee, the National Commissioner suggested during the meeting of the ministers that I should coordinate that. So I took that responsibility and worked on that. And when COVID-19 set in, we also had to meet virtually and the like. So that is how I continued to support the political killing task team. And there was time when there were some difficulties that were raised regarding the continuation or the phasing out of the political task team. Ours was just to comment and the like, to send the recommendation further to the National Commissioner. So I think that is, in short, my involvement in the political killings task team.
Thank you, General. Could I ask you at paragraph 121, you mentioned that on 1 August 2020, I requested a meeting with the Deputy National Commissioner. Can you just tell us about, explain that to us, please? Or you can actually read it into the record, but I just want to ask you 1 or 2 questions about that.
On the 1st of August 2020, I requested a meeting with the Deputy National Commissioner, Policing, by then was Lieutenant General Masemola, for handing over this function, as I felt that it was not in the mandate of the DPCI and could be handled by the greater service.
And what was that function?
The chairing of this National Steering Committee. I was assisting, but the thing is taking a lot of time, whereas it doesn't belong in the DPCI. We are supporting that, but I felt that the greater service can deal with that.
And why was the request made to the Deputy National Commissioner Policing at the time, which now we know is the National Commissioner, but at that time he wasn't the National Commissioner?
When this political killing task team started, they started under the Divisional Commissioner of Operational Services, which was Lieutenant General Mokwanazi before moving to KwaZulu-Natal. These were always held in that space. So General Masemola was in that environment. As Deputy National Commissioner, Operational Response is in that space. So that is the first call that I was making. It will also be seen that at a later stage, I also approached the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, that in their environment, they should be taking this responsibility and handling it.
Thank you. And then paragraph 124 on page 91.
124. On the 13th of April 2021, I wrote to the National Commissioner General Sitole to discuss the view held on the political killings task team. In paragraph 4 of my note, I indicated as follows. The teams which are located in KwaZulu-Natal and Limpopo are now well established and fully operational, and it has become very clear that the work and the investigation will continue for an extended time. Major General J.K. Mudubazi, who was the head of the executive support in the Office of the National Commissioner, indicated on the 15th of April 2021 that the meeting to be placed on the diary of the National Commissioner.
Okay, and then 125?
On the 18th of June 2021, Major General Dumisan Samuel Kumalo submitted an information note detailing the required cost of the PKTT. The Deputy National Commissioner for Policing, Lieutenant General Masemola, recommended that overtime can be down-managed. The late Deputy National Commissioner of Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Slindile Christopher Mfazi, commented on the 28th of June 2021 as follows. This matter needs to be clarified as to where does this investigation is being managed by the division detectives or the DPCI. I recommended the noting of performance report for period July 2018 to June 2021. The report also reflected the budget for the PKTT for the period of 1st July 2018 to 30 June 2022 as 217,413,745 rands, with actual expenditure as 209,043,558 rands, excluding salaries and allowances.
And then 126.
From July 2021, a similar but more demanding task came my way as I had to put task teams to deal with the July unrest in affected provinces. A virtual meeting that was being attended by the DPCI and the NPA was held daily for a year, which I had to chair.
You don't have to continue there. I just wanted to find out, was this the same task team that Brigadier Nyuswa was on for the July unrest?
I have been working with the provincial heads. I'm not sure if lower down Nyuswa was also part. He shall be part because it is the organized crime. So I will be dealing with General Sinona. And General Sunona will deal with Nyuswa and the other members of the team. But it was July unrest, the affected provinces.
And then at paragraph 127, you deal with an issue about the continuation or termination of the PKTT. And you say that General Kumalo wrote to you and the DNC policing, who at the time was General Masemola, on the 16th of February 2022. And then you speak about a virtual meeting on 1 March 2022. If you could continue from there, and then I want to find out from you, why was there this discussion about the continuation of the PKTT in February 2022?
So I should start from...
on 1 March 2022.
On 1 March 2022, a related virtual meeting was held. The attendees were Lieutenant General Masemola, Lieutenant General Mkwanazi, Deputy National Director of Public Prosecution, the late Advocate De Kock, Advocate Governor, Advocate Johnson, Advocate Mashamaide, Major General Dumisan Kumalo, Major General Samuel Manala from Limpopo, Major General Jan Skiepers, and myself. Apology from Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Elizabeth Nchinga was noted. The agenda included item 2.2 for consideration of handing over of the coordination to the DNC Crime Detection.
And the DNC Crime Detection, there was the person that had apologized for not attending. Or who was it then?
That is correct. It was Lieutenant General Nchinga at the time.
Yes. Can I just understand what was the discussion about the continuation or termination of the PKTT then in March 2022?
There were issues that were raised, concerns as to whether this political killing task team should continue or should cease to exist. So that was tabled for consideration. It would appear that there were already concerns as to why this task team will continue.
Okay, thank you. Then if we can go to paragraph, oh, it's a new topic, and Chair, I see that it's 2 minutes to 1. Shall we take the adjournment?
Let's adjourn and resume at 2 p.m.